I mean,
This is supposed to be a real job, right? You're a congresswoman. I mean,
how
you
come
have you
you're
have voted since July and nobody cares or notices or what?
it blows my mind how that even can happen, but I mean,
You
they
know?
say only in America, I guess that I'm like, wait a minute, 6 months? What the fuck?
Yeah. It said the calls were just going unanswered and nobody, the office was closed. I'm like, what? Nobody noticed the congresswoman woman just gone for months. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand. Well, for those who's listening, the Congresswoman, Republican longtime Kay Granger, 81, has not cast a vote in Washington D.C. since July, despite the GOP super slim majority in the chamber. She had been missing for 6 months somehow, and I, don't understand how this happened. But
Yeah.
it was reported on Friday of she was a long full time memory care unit. What? She was living full time in a memory care unit and was moved there after she was found wandering her neighborhood. Oh God!
Yeah. That's just bizarre, dude. Like, I mean, none of the other Republicans are like, hey, we need you to vote for this for or nothing. No one. No.
How do you even get to be a congresswoman? What is happening here? Why? I am actually shocked that she was just wandering in the neighborhood.
Hmm.
But that actually goes to a personal story for the next door neighbor to me, that lady who has Alzheimer's that I helped take down a fence, came over and was like just wandering around. I was mowing my yard, finished and was about to put my mower up, and here comes this old white lady saying, "Oh, hey, can you help me find my husband?" And I was like, "Oh, well, okay. Perhaps yes, I
Uh,
can. What are
hmm.
you doing? How did you get outside?" You know what I'm saying? Like, where's your caretaker?
Right? Wow. Hmm.
But
Yikes.
I mean, hey, like that lady's a representative of something. She's supposed to be voting and actually doing her job. Like,
Right.
oh God.
I mean, I'm pretty sure my job would notice, after like a day that I wasn't there. I mean, you're a damn congressman. Jesus.
The fact that it just comes out of nowhere and it's just so okay, we found her is more appalling to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
We
mean,
found her basically what was it called? Assisted living for the deranged or whatever.
yeah, mentally capacity. I'm like, well, I mean, I
Wow.
yep. However, her son told the Post um that the claim that was a load of bullshit, that she moved into a condo in the independent living community because getting bored and lonely in her Fort Worth apartment. Oh,
Well, you weren't going to your job. Either way.
three sources closer to Granger, including her son Brandon, her current spokesperson, and another source familiar with have the family have denied to the Post that she is living in the memory care unit. Her son was coy with the Post about whether she received care from that unit.
Okay.
I mean, coy. They have a memory care facility there, but she's in independent living facility. It's a nice condo. I helped her move in. Brandon Granger said.
I don't
Brandon
care if
Granger
she was.
acknowledged that his mother has exhibited signs of dementia. Oh, but that only emerged in the last 3 months after she was already living at the facility.
Wow. So the first 3 months were just, nah, I'm just bored. Okay. I'm not going to vote, do nothing, do nothing. Just getting
Oh,
paid this whole time. Okay.
getting paid. So the source of the Post said to the Granger, to the Sun, has you been in contact with leadership from the beginning, letting them know that what was going on, or would you have been happy to travel back to DC if they needed her for a specific vote?
Yeah. Okay. Mm.
Oh God, like I say, the politics. That's like I can't. I'm telling you, I can't. I'm waiting with a bated breath for that Gatesy. Release it already and stop teasing me.
Right? They're just having fun with it at this point.
What am I, 15 years old and my first time alone with a girl? Like, give it to me already, for Christ's sake. God damn. I don't understand it. You've been talking about it for months.
Right?
We know he's a goddamn perv. He's not getting the spot now. Just release it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Look, like I said, America, we're fucked anyway in the world. Either way it goes, it doesn't matter who would win the presidency. That's what I say all the time. It's about the inner workings. Like this lady who I mean, I don't know. Is she, what is she voting for? Thank God she's not. And that this type of information, who leaked this? Who let that come out?
Somebody probably went finally looking. Like, hey man, I've been writing my congressman about this for 6 months.
Well,
Where
that's like in
is she?
Chicago. They
Her.
had a town meeting that time. I said, and the dude just went up to the podium. The mayor of Chicago just walked up and said, "Well, we'll be doing this after the holidays," and just walked out after they had told everybody to come to the council meeting about some shit. I was just like, "Wait, what?
Wow.
You told everybody to come?"
Okay.
And actually, what I do love, while I'm on this politic thing, we'll have my slash non-informational "Don't get your politics from me" segment. But I love how the mayor of New York, and when they were walking the Luigi guy, that video of him walking with like there's like 40 police officers with bulletproof vests and guns and shit walking him slowly in an orange jumpsuit, and then the mayor's there. I'm like, wait a minute, what are you morons doing? You act like, look, if take those handcuffs off and let him get a chance at you privately, like it's a battle royale. I don't think some of you be walking like that, because I feel like he's proven himself to me. The rest of you motherfuckers are suspect, as they say. So, you know, and that's what I love. I'm like, one of the girls flashed them. They got a thing from they were watching, and they're like, "We love you, Luigi." I was like, "Oh God,
oh wow."
I wonder if he could get some conjugal visits and where he's going. Yeah, maybe, perhaps. But you know, like, hey, you know, I feel for the lady congressman or congresswoman person, whatever it is now. May you have your days living in that facility unbothered. And can somebody get her vote? I don't know how that's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, maybe when you're 81 years old, it should be, time to stop being a public servant here.
I mean,
I
Biden
mean,
is still what he's headed to 80, and he would have been. So I
he
mean,
belongs there with her.
I mean,
it won't be long.
I never understood why there's some people who like you just want old people to do. I'm like, why? You'd want somebody you feel like, well, and you know what? After Donald Trump gets out of there, I feel like they're right about the every 4 years or whatever you got to do a vote. No, fuck it anymore. If you're good enough running shit good, just let the person run until somebody tries to assassinate them.
I mean, I feel like, all right, whatever the Social Security age is, if you're older than that, you shouldn't be in Congress or doing anything.
Yeah.
If I'm supposed to retire when I'm 67, okay, well, you should be retired then. We don't need. I mean, I'm not saying all old people are senile, but why are you there though?
No,
75 years old and shit. I mean, what?
Since I only have a 1% person of a 70 or older or 65 or older demographic, which is my mother, so I can slander all people of else because you don't even know how to operate this, and I had to do that hand to hand to get her to do this. So you don't listen to this. So the rest of you can't even listen to a simple podcast, let alone run the country of any kind of voting decision you shouldn't even be driving. and you know what? They'll be like, oh, when you're 70 something, what if they take your driver license? Take it. I don't want to drive now. I wish I could have a chauffeur. Are you kidding me? Like, that's an insult. Like, you're trying to hurt me with that kind of comment. Knock it off. You know what I'm saying? Like when I want somebody driving me right now, they'll be like, "Oh, Grandpa, do you want somebody?" Yes, get in the car, take me. Get
Right.
the groceries, put them in the cart, do everything for me. I wish I could have that now. But of course, you should be able to do it yourself. Should I? It's ridiculous.
Oh, did
And
you see the? Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was going to say that old people. That's another thing that pissed me off when I went to go get my passport. And I know this is a male post office slander. I don't know how the fuck at 10 o'clock in the morning on a random Tuesday, there's 20 fucking people older than 70 in the post office.
Hmm.
And I already had an appointment. You got to make an appointment to get a passport. Fine. I had the appointment. I'm like, I'm already 20 people in behind.
Damn. What are you getting the passport for?
Just to have one, just to get it. Because actually, I plan to go. I'm gonna start my living my life. I guess apparently single for those who are listening. If there's, I'm gonna go try to like go to London, Mykonos, Greece.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, Paris, France. See the Eiffel Tower. Go to the Parthenon.
Hmm.
Type shit. Just get it. Now I got the passport. Fuck it. I got to do something with that motherfucking shit. It was $212 for those listening, and
Yeah.
you need your birth certificate and your original parents' names for some reason. I didn't fill that part out, and they were just like, "Oh, no, you need your parents' names." I'm like, my biological father, like who I haven't seen in my 48 years, pretty much of my life. You motherfuckers, what are you kidding me?
Hmm. Nope. I think I might be frozen. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you. Oh well, I didn't notice. Maybe you are frozen. Yeah.
Huh. No. Oh, speaking of passports, did you see uh the migrant worker or migrant Guatemalan that lit the lady on fire today on the subway?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, well, they're just casually walked up to her, lit her clothes on fire. She died. I'm
Yeah.
like, Jesus,
I was like,
what?
well, how did this video get out? I want for those who video these things, I don't get my phone out in enough time. I wonder how you can do that. Like, I don't know. It's almost like anticipation.
Mm. I mean, you would think you'd like, try to pat her, pat the flames out before you recorded it, but
Nobody wants to
geez.
save a life. The recording's worth more than her patting her down. Her
Yeah,
actually
wow.
dying while you record it is worth more than you saving her life. That's what's sad about the shit, man. It's the
Yeah.
reverse anymore. A human life is it's I prefer you see them dead. Well, the video of that Luigi dude, somehow, as the lawyer is saying, there's no evidence of him killing him.
Okay.
I love it. I'm
What kind of damn outfit? What
did
kind of
you
outfit does the person have on that had just like burst into flames and burned her alive?
yeah.
I mean, good God. I feel like it'd be pretty hard if you just put a lighter against my shirt to like light me on fire to the point I died. What was she wearing? Bird feathers or something?
I mean, look,
Yeah.
my whole sometimes I be shocked. I guess I don't know much about pyro shit because I was like, man, I kind of like lighting shit on fire a little bit, but like these people are doing it to where like I was like, wow, that was like that fat. Wow, okay.
Mm.
I mean, she burned up. Oh well, I guess I didn't know for the YouTube watchers and listeners. This is after a couple drinks podcast, and it's me and Travis. And since Ryan's on, he's in Istanbul giving toys for tots for the Christmas holiday.
Okay. Istanbul.
he'll be he'll be back next week via fucking Blue Jet somehow.
Okay.
Yeah, well, but no, I, like I said, the politics in this world. It isn't a political podcast, but I love making fun of this shit. That Gatesy dude needs to be tarred and feathered and let the shit come out. He's a
Yeah.
basically a damn Jerry Sandusky, whatever we want to call it, Sandusky, Diddy, Jared Fogeled. God damn, I mean, it's just too many. You fucking
Ugh.
what? And you know what? Actually, this is a shot at grown women. What happened to that? You can't even get a grown man anymore, to where they have to go for little kids. That's not funny, but still, it's terrible.
Hmm.
Like, how are you taking advantage of a 17-year-old and then you're bragging about the shit? Like, wow. But I mean, those are the people who are running our country. Donald Trump. They'll be like, and actually, somebody said you got to be careful saying anything about Trump on. If they find out that you're talking about him at all in a bad way, they'll ban you.
Mm.
I was like, really?
Hmm.
I mean, I have like 7 people who listen, 23 on a regular basis to the pod, but like, why would you hurt them? What would they do? What would like you really want to do that to like 23 people?
Right.
Oh shit.
Mm.
And actually but those 23 or whoever do listen, I don't need donations because I'm probably gonna upgrade this soon so I can get the full enhancement of the app they want you to use or whatever, to get this broadcast going really well,
Mm.
for the video performance and things like that. But
Mm.
because like on YouTube, you could still see Ryan and hear him, but I couldn't.
Huh. Oh yeah.
Yeah, when I
Okay.
watched the video back, I was like, wait a minute. What the
Huh.
fuck? That's like right now they'll probably see however you're looking and still.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
been on my end. I've been frozen now for quite some time here, but I don't
Oh,
know.
really? Yeah, see, yeah. I don't know what it just go blank, but
Mhm.
technology that I need to. Oh, well, that's a shameless plug. I guess that since I can slide the promotional content button over, if any of you who are listening out of the 23, if you have any at all knowledge, which is more than me, which is everything, feel free to go ahead and help. There will be a small fee if you happen to smoke weed. That would be the pay. Otherwise, if I ever make it big, you get a T-shirt and notoriety, and to keep your job. Perhaps that's not a guarantee because if somebody can do it better than you, they'll be hired instantly,
Mm.
and I won't have a problem firing you if you don't do better than the person who comes in to take your job. I'm that kind of person in America. Survival of
Mm.
the fittest. Whoever can do the job better, editing, producing, this editing stuff. I tell you what, not going off on a tangent, but it is. That shit is different. Like the options on this one program, I'm like, how do you know this?
Mm.
Who made this? Like, but then somehow there's somebody who out there can't change a tire.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
The stuff they show on the internet, man, be kill. I'm like, wow, you must have spent a lot of time learning how to do this.
I
Some
I
of it,
mean,
I'm like, damn, that shit looks real.
and so basically, this is going on back to the 3D printing machine that we talked about last pod. I want to reiterate this: if I can get a 3D printer, somehow there is which I feel like it's a compressor issue. Nevertheless, I know people are getting bored with that, but this is what's going on in America. The world, people don't do their job. There's been a cooler down at Costco probably for 2 months that they're manufacturing the part because it's only specific to these units in the meat
Wow.
case at Costco.
What? Wow.
So
Okay.
it's supposed to always be under 30, 41 degrees for the food safety shit. This
Hmm.
motherfucker's been reading 57 degrees for the last 2 months.
Oh wow.
So before that, Travis, I was fixing it. And think about what we know about me fixing something. Think about that.
What were you doing to fix it, Gaddis?
taking hot water and pouring it that to get all the ice that made an ice block over all the coils of the
Oh,
pipes.
okay.
And so it would go down to temperature because
Hmm.
all the ice would be, of course, removed from the coils of pipes that were,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
I'm just like, okay, so it's something with the compressor.
Yeah.
You knowing me, as I don't even can't put up a fucking blind without assistance or know what a fucking rich is damn near. I'm fixing something at a $5 billion a year making company. Me.
Hmm. Okay. Well,
And so they were like, "What happened?" It was down to temperature. What happened? I said, "Well, because I've stopped doing it."
I'm not just pouring water on it on my day off.
Yeah, like that's what I just like when I'm not here, and they're like, "Oh." So the guy comes in. This dude comes in, Travis. I'm there. I'm sitting there looking at him. I'm just like, he's like, "Oh yeah, this needs this, and this," and I'm just like, "Are you fucking serious?" I said, "I just poured a bucket of hot water over to get it to work. Like you can't keep it the temperature it's supposed to be. It's a thermostat thing." Then he's like, "Oh no, you see this pipe here?" He's pointing all this shit to me, trying to tell me some shit. Yeah, you got to get all this fixed and all that. I'm like, but I literally can fix it every night. Just pouring hot water over the coils to get the ice off. And it lasts until I come back the next day. You don't even need you. If I'm there 7 days a week to pour it over there, it will go fine. It's ridiculous. It's actually hilarious to me. I'm just like, really?
Wow. Okay.
The Power Soak machine, and before I get onto my sports topics about this college football playoff, but there's this Power Soak dishwasher machine, Travis. For months, they thought the sensor was bad on it because the water, it's a triple sink, and for those food service people who are listening, I know probably some people are like, what the fuck are you talking about? But anyway, you bastards, everybody's not got money. Just listen and learn. Triple sink, and you got to have a certain temperature. And so now, instead of just having a certain temperature of the hot water you just put in there, like back in the day before they got all this equipment and the stuff to sanitize it, and you hit the button and it pumps the water and the soap in all together and sanitizes the shit. So for months, they're like, man, this sink ain't working. It wouldn't work. You couldn't even use the sink. So people just washing the shit, spraying it, just not even doing it right. So you're just like, okay, we're going to kill somebody because we don't know how to get hot water in a sink.
Right.
And I'm like, oh. So all of a sudden I started fucking around with it because I closed there 5 days a week. And of course, leave it to me. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm like, damn, I can't. The sink was supposed to run automatically. It's supposed to keep hot water going and run the dishes. And all you do is put them in there, rinses them off. Then you rinse them off and put in the Power Soak sanitizer part.
Yeah.
The sanitizer part worked fine. And so people are like, oh, Gaddis, you got to turn it off, do this, and let the sanitizer out and then refill it. And so I was doing, I'm like, wait a minute. And so one day I'm like, this water's not hot. They would leave the water in there all day and wouldn't turn the machine on. So the water's just cold, but the pump can't keep it hot because there's no hot water to begin with. So it would shut off automatically.
Okay.
And then when it shut off, it would flash to where you couldn't use it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, okay, what the fuck? Long story short, speed it up for people. I've realized, I'm like, well, wait a minute. Let me get the hottest water, make sure it's hot to begin with. I drained all the sinks, got the hottest water to start, then hit the button, started it. It would go, go, go. Then I filled up the sanitizer and did it, and it kept going. I'm like, oh, it just needs to be hot water in there. So I leave, and so one day I come in and do the shit, and they were like, oh my God, the sink is running with hot water and it's hot. We can wash the dishes. And I'm sitting there looking at them. They're like, who did this? I'm like, Travis, they brought in the general manager, everybody. They're like, who fixed it? Did somebody come to fix it? Because the person who was supposed to come to fix it couldn't come for like a month.
Oh, God.
And they were like, well, who got this to running? So I come in looking, and I'm like, what is everybody in here for? They're like, oh, man. They're like, did you, somebody fix the sink? I'm like, what sink? They're like, the Power Soak sink over here. It's running. It's been running for like 30 minutes. We got the managers because they were like, oh, somebody finally fixed it so you can do the shit. And I'm like, what do you mean somebody finally fixed it? And they're like, yeah, it's running. Somebody came in here and did something. And I said, You're looking at them. And they were like, Gaddis, you fixed the sink? And so Travis, I just was like, oh, yeah, the sensor was off. So this is what I knew to do. And I made it seem like did some rocket scientist type shit that Lord knows I had nothing to do with it. Nothing.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? But this is how bad it was, Travis. One time when I was there, I was doing maintenance, which is basically a janitorial at Costco. And I had been so many positions, I was doing the janitorial shit. One of the toilets, the sink, they had it out of order. And I'm like, why is this out of order? They're like, oh, the handle's messed up. The fucking thing was just loose to where you put the flush thing. All I did was tighten the shit up.
Oh, God.
And they gave me $100 because I saved them some money from calling in a plumber.
Wow. Well, that's cool, I guess.
You idiots. I'm a fucking moron. Are you fucking kidding?
Right.
Like, I'm the last person you want fixing anything. Like, it's embarrassing. I was like, so I tell the dudes all the time, I said, I've never worked anywhere that makes me feel like I felt like I'm out, not even Albert Einstein. I feel like I'm the guy who nitroglycerin. I figured that out without blowing myself up like the dude did. Like, are you kidding me?
Oh, man.
You know, the Suarez Canal or whatever. I'm like, oh, I figured it out. You know, like you fucking, and that's another, people never underestimate yourself. For those who even are mentally challenged or, you know, now, you know, you don't, a lot of the people are, get these mental health days. Never count yourself out. That's what this is about. Because if I could do anything in the world and to fix some shit in a company that's a Fortune 500 company, and all I've done is two things that I just figured out on my own.
Right. It's funny.
I mean, you know, I guess they were like, oh, are you going to keep fixing it, Gaddis? Yes.
Yes, I'll run hot water. Yes.
Like I'm just like, wow. And even the dude that was like, I don't even know how you did that. He's like, man, but they was like, Gaddis, you know, they treat me like I'm some kind of god. And so the dude one day he told me, he's like, well, so they were like the pan washer. They were like, oh, the auto scrubber was messed up. And I'm like, well, because you didn't do this. And I mean, it's just simple stuff that I mean, you know, I don't think I know a lot. But either way, you know, I'm going to go ahead and move on to, I can't wait for my sports topics. The goddamn college football playoff started off with a not so bang, but it was a bang for the away teams.
Yeah.
A damn a slaughter.
Yeah.
All four games, the average point margin was 19.
I mean, really, only Clemson even made it a game there for a little bit. The other ones were terrible.
Just blowouts. I couldn't believe it. Well, and I guess this is what. So now, you know what? And I don't like that. And this is, if they're listening, you need to do some reseeding after the first round. There's no way Oregon should play the best team left.
Right.
That came out of the first round, as you say. You know what I'm saying? Oregon's going to now play. Well, whoever wins that game, I feel like it's going to be the national title game anyway.
Yeah, they should.
And I tell you what, Penn State, you're right. They got to, I mean, woo. If they beat Boise State, you might as well pencil them in.
Yeah, I mean, they got the easiest road for sure.
Because Georgia is without their starting quarterback. Carson Beck, for those listening, is out for the playoffs, college football playoff, with an elbow injury that he suffered in the SEC title game.
Yeah, I was laughing about the Florida State people being like, well, shouldn't Georgia have gotten kicked out then?
What? No, they didn't.
Yeah, the Florida State people were like, well, that's what happened to us. And you didn't let us into the playoff. I'm like, oh, God.
Look what happened this to you then.
Right.
I mean, for Christ's sake. Well, you know what, though? The Arizona State, I tell you what, they ought to be blessed. They should have been in the, I don't like how they do it. And they're gonna make some, tweaks to it. They're gonna have to
Yeah.
because there's no way the two best teams left. I mean, without injury, basically. Georgia,
Mhm.
Georgia would have been with Carson Beck. Hell, you got them, Texas, Ohio State, and Oregon.
Yeah.
But as it is, Penn State beats Boise State, and Georgia has to play Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And hell, look, Notre Dame, this is your chance.
Yep.
While you out here bitching and complaining and shit,
That-
you actually got to be honest, they actually have the best chance to go to the championship game on their side.
Mhm.
Because if you realistically beat Georgia, I mean, you should be able to beat Penn State then.
Right. Yep. That Tennessee game had me dying. All the shit that was going on with that one was hilarious.
Oh, God.
I actually thought that was going to be a good game.
Me
but,
too. That wasn't. I
I'm
thought
like,
that SMU
wow.
Penn State game was going to be better than was, but that was hide your women, the women and children and the cats.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't even close. I was like, God damn.
Yep.
But
That other ESPN channel that with the what's his name on it, where the other dude, I think I sent that to you, where the guy's just like talking about the nut. I'm like, what? Like, did he really just say that? Busting a nut on their face. And I was like, what?
I was like, wait a minute, what is this? Oh God.
Yeah, that was on the like alternate ESPN coverage.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
the
whatever it's called, where they have the two angles and
the
blah,
ESPN
blah, blah.
cast or whatever,
Mhm.
like the Manning and what's the name cast for Monday Night Football.
Yeah, I was like, wow. Then them dudes wearing there was a bunch of them that had just their shirts just said "fuck Dolly Parton," and I'm like, what? What?
Yeah.
Wow,
like, man,
what
what
kind
happened?
of fans are these? Like,
I
what?
was like, what did Dolly do to you, motherfuckers? How dare you?
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, wow. But they definitely shut Tennessee up, though. Good God.
Yeah.
The map, they were like, here's how we're going to take their goalposts and throw them there like that. Conveniently is the fastest way the fuck out of here, you bastards.
I know.
That shit was fucking crazy, dude. They didn't like. I don't know. I still can't decide if Tennessee just looked awful or if Ohio State looked like unbeatable last night. Because I don't think anybody would have beat them last night.
They came out to prove a point.
Hmm.
That's
They
all
sure
that was.
did. But Tennessee hasn't looked good on offense in a month and a half, honestly.
Fucking. Well, and this is the thing about it. Like, I don't know what, because here's the thing. What I said, they were like, "Oh, well, that's what happens in the first round of NCAA basketball tournament. All the higher seeds win." I said, "Do they?"
What? That's
That's
okay.
the part of the March Madness is it's called madness because that's every year there's an upset in the first round. What
Yeah,
are you
you obviously
talking about?
haven't been watching lately because
When they made a comment like that.
I mean St. Peter's, Oral Roberts, all these teams are
I mean, but
beating
wait a minute.
Kentucky's
It
and
doesn't
everybody.
matter what the team is or the name. Every year there's every year. I mean, hell, definitely lately, what has happened twice that of 16 seed is won.
Yeah, I mean that would be like, somebody way less than SMU beating
that's what I'm like.
the best Oregon. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
like, that's not an upset if SMU beat Penn State. I could have saw that happening. On a neutral field, I could have definitely saw that happening.
Yeah.
But like I said, college football playoff, put a bow tie on it. I feel like there's some changes that need to be made, and I was hyped for the games just because of what I thought was going to be some more competition.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, hell, these next rounds might be the best. hopefully, but Georgia without their starting quarterback, Notre Dame,
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know. I know. I was like, wow, when they were just dogging Indiana, man. They were like, oh, they see they didn't belong. I'm like, so you're telling me neither did SMU or Clemson or Tennessee then? Because it wasn't no worse than any of those games. I mean, what? What?
now you know what though. This is their chance for now any type. It's
What?
now their and God, it's now their chance for them to get any kind of Alabama thing. See, Alabama could have been in; they would have did way better than SMU.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, I do agree.
I mean, most likely you couldn't have done much worse, but geez.
Win in the regular season, and it's not going to be a question.
Well, yeah. Don't lose.
Win.
Don't get your ass beat like that in the regular season. You had your chance.
Here's Ole Miss like Lane Kiffin throwing his hat on there, but that's what I'm saying. It's all about that shit with these motherfucking SEC. Hell, now it looks like none of them will be. I mean, Texas is going. They're holding their hat on Texas,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Texas could lose their next game for sure
Mm-hmm.
if
Yeah.
Arizona.
I think any of the well, I don't know about any of them, but a lot of the teams I can definitely beat Texas if they show up. Any
They
of them,
play
really.
Arizona State, right?
Yeah, I think so. I guess that's who plays next.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Texas and Arizona State and Oregon and Ohio State, because whoever wins that game plays
Yeah.
the winner of that. And I don't care who it is. If Ohio State plays, they're going to beat Texas or Arizona State. It don't matter who. If there's Ohio, whoever that wins that game is winning the next one.
Yeah, you would think.
I don't even. And that's what's funny about it. If Tennessee actually would have won, I would have took them too over those two teams.
Right.
But I don't know. Knowing what I know now, their running game didn't. I don't. They made, like you said, they made Ohio State look better than they should have.
Yeah, well, I mean, their running back didn't even play. He hurt his what was this
Hamstring.
hamstring? Yeah, so he
Yeah.
only had like 2 carries for 6 yards, and he's been
Yeah.
the only one that's done anything in a month and a half, dude. I mean, they're routinely just throwing for like 108 yards, whatever, but he's running for 160 and 3 touchdowns type shit.
All I know is
So
just that quarterback they're talking about next year is supposed to be one of the top picks in the draft. Well, I didn't see it this game.
No,
mm-mm.
I never see him. I never see him.
Nope, but he hadn't looked good since the Kent State game.
Debate, but it's like we pin all our hopes on these guys, and they're just fucking no.
Well, who was their backup?
I don't even know.
Well,
Don't even
either
know.
way, he's supposed to be a top draft pick. They were talking about him and that Drew Aller kid next year being top pick. Well, they're going to be the top picks in the quarterback. And they were talking about it even in the game that Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. He was pretty good at the start of the year, but he hadn't done shit lately. I mean, other than scramble for his life. Of course, he doesn't. Of course, he doesn't have any receivers to throw to anymore either.
You know what they say, he's
But-
got the arm strength, the build, the height,
Mhm.
all of that. So it's like he's like an Anthony Richardson.
He's a scrawny little fucker, if you ask me.
Yeah, did you see when he got his damn helmet cracked?
Yeah,
That shit. I was like, damn.
you gotta be lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but that puts the Tennessee up there next year as a top contender then in the SEC.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. I mean, they've already got a couple receivers I know coming in, but
And then, Florida, the way they looked,
yeah, they looked really good the last
their
3 or 4
defense
games.
was. I was like, Jesus, where was this? I mean, they were killing.
Yeah.
I was like, God, what is going on in this game?
I love it. That was one of my 2 favorite plays so far of the bowl games were both in that game. And they were the same person.
Yeah,
that big motherfucker boy. He just picked the quarterback up. I thought he was gonna slam him and give him a free first down. And he just like looked at the ref, blow the whistle, and set him back down. It's like
Look,
Jesus. And
but
then they
Florida
handed him the
saved,
ball like he was the fridge for the 3rd
Yep.
and 1.
Well, they saved Billy Napier's job.
Oh yeah, for sure. How do you tackle somebody that's 6'5", 449, man?
I don't even know how he's out on the field.
I know. Giant, dude. Like, what?
And I was like, Jesus, is that a gut? Or, I mean, his whole gut is my body weight.
I mean, that dude is huge, man.
No, hell yeah.
Crazy.
But I guess I'll go ahead and get to my joke of the day, since we can, which I actually, I've had a rendition of this one before, but this one's this from Amanda Klein. A nun and a priest were crossing the Sahara Desert on a camel. On the third day out, the camel suddenly dropped dead without warning. After dusting themselves off, the nun and the priest surveyed their situation. After a long period of silence, the priest spoke. Well, sister, this looks pretty grim. I know, Father. In fact, I don't think it's likely that we can survive more than a day or two. I agree. Sister, since we are unlikely to make it out of here alive, would you do something for me? Anything, Father. I've never seen a woman's breast, and I was wondering if I might see yours. Well, under the circumstances, I don't see that it would do any harm. The nun opened her habit, and the priest enjoyed the sight of her shapely breast, commenting frequently on on their beauty. Sister, would you mind if I touched him? She consented, and he fondled them for several minutes. Father, could I ask something of you? Yes, sister. I've never seen a man's penis. Could I see yours? I suppose that would be okay, the priest replied, lifting his robe. Oh, Father, may I touch it? This time the priest considered and gave a few minutes of her fondling, and he was sporting a huge erection. Sister, you know that if I insert my penis in the right place, it can give life. Is that true, Father? Yes, it is, sister. Then why don't you stick it up that camel's ass and let's get the hell out of here?
Wow. Okay.
Oh, God. Oh. Oh, that was a good one. All right. Let's see here. What we got? Let's see here. That was not a bad one. Oh, here's one. Dylan was practicing his golf swing in his front yard when he swung a little too hard and sent the ball through his neighbor's window. Dylan ran over and rang the doorbell 3 times. After no one answered for a few minutes, he opened the door to see broken glass everywhere, a lamp lying on the ground, and a huge fat Arabian man wearing a turban sitting on the couch. Dylan asked, "Who are you?" The fat man replied, "I'm a genie you have freed from that lamp." Dylan questioned, "Oh man, do I get 3 wishes?" The genie replied, "Since you freed me by accident, you only get 2, and I get 1." Dylan thought about it and realized what he wanted. I wanted to be the best golfer ever. The surprised genie said, "You sure? Most people wish for money, but okay, now your wife gets 1 wish." Dylan brought over his wife, who wished right away. "I want $1 million every week of my life." The genie said, "Granted, and now for my wish. I've been cramped up in the lamp for so many years. It's been a while since I've been with a woman. I want 1 day of wild, crazy sex with your wife." Dylan said, "No way." The genie replied, "Not even for $1 million a week?" Dylan turned to his wife, who said, "I guess for all that I should." "Well, not until Dylan leaves." Dylan said, "Okay, have fun, I guess," and left. Dylan's wife then proceeded to have wild sex for the rest of the day with the genie. When they were finished, the genie asked how old her husband was. She said 45. The genie laughed and said, "Isn't he a little too old to be believing in genies?" Oh, oh, oh. Oh, geez. Well, and that goes to show you, for those people out there, and I know this might be a bad favor, but women, you can't be trusted. Oh, oh God.